Good morning. How is everybody doing? My name is Penny. If you're finding me for the first time, unfortunately, I have to introduce myself every day. So if you're my faithful follower, thank you. Welcome back again. Go on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're on Facebook and you've not followed me, please do that. That adds value to my page to help me in my business. So good, I can see people are on. So we're going to go right into what we need to do. We are reading this book together. For those of you who don't have access to the book, so you're able to listen to me, so you can listen and learn something that you can apply in your life. And I hope that will help you have a good quality of life. So today we are moving to the next discussion, that is debt diet. There is a debt diet on how to stay on a budget. And they have given you 5 categories. Paris, good morning. You have 5 categories, and we are going to start with housing. So housing is where you live, your house. You need shelter. If you don't have a house, you're homeless, that's not good. We all need a home to go to. But some of you are being hosted. Some of you are living with your parents. Some of you are living with maybe your friends. But housing is everything. After everything is all said and done, where you live. So number 1, and by the way, if you didn't get your pen and paper, get it, because these are lessons that you need to write down. You won't remember some of these things because I'm reading from a book and you have to write it for reference. So number 1, housing, 35%. This includes everything to do with your home, from rent, mortgage, payment of utilities, insurance, and repairs. Number 2, transportation, 15%. Any expense related to your main means of transportation goes here, including things like a car payment, gas, parking, oil change, public transportation costs. Transportation, how you're moving around. We don't pay attention to that. I never even really thought about it as such, but transportation, how you're moving from point A to point B. Number 3, other living expenses. That takes 25% of your money. This catch-all category covers everything else you spend money on, including things like food, clothing, vacations, concert tickets, electronics, pet care. Like those things that you do that are just day to day, other living expenses. Your money, 25% goes there. Number 4, saving. You all know saving is supposed to be at least 10%. If you get $100, put $10 away. If this seems low for you, for covering your retirement, emergency funds, and goal saving, remember that it comes from take-home pay. So any employer-based retirement contribution have already been made. So for me, I don't do 10%. I do 20%. And I do 20% because I am legally married and I have 4 children. And as a mother of 4 children, I want to have money somewhere that I am able to access without asking my husband. Just in case I have an emergency, I'm able to go remove that money without looking for my husband, or my husband doesn't have access to it. Because some of us who are legally married, our partners can legally access our money and use it for something. Money that is saved is very tempting. So for me, I do 20%, and I've given you the reason why I do that. And remember, when I talk about money that your spouse doesn't have access to, you're not hiding. They know. When you came into the marriage, I don't know how you came into the marriage. I came into the marriage after I had taken my financial classes. I've always had my numbers right. So I came into the marriage telling my husband that I save money that you don't have access to, and you save money that I don't have access to. That way, in case of an emergency, in case of, some money that you put aside for you, you're a human being. You need to live your life financially. The fact that you're legally married to someone doesn't mean now you put all your money in one account, because some of the people that we love have very poor spending habits. And you don't want to find yourself with someone who goes to a bar and swipes your savings. You don't want to find yourself with someone who goes to a mall. Hey, Betty, good morning. I'll see you later today. Goes to a mall and buys $200 shoes. Some women, they don't drink, they don't go to the club, but they're addicted to shopping. Some of us are addicted to food shopping. You don't want someone to go take the little money that you had just, put aside for a rainy day for your children to go and spend it. So this money that you're keeping, that your partner doesn't have access to, is money for emergency. It's not money to go just eat. No, it's money for emergency. So on savings, they are giving you a standard of 10%. And then number 5, 15% on debt payment. If you owe, if you don't owe anybody, you're very blessed. But if you have a house, if you have a car, if you've signed a loan, you owe. And if you don't have those things, you need to have some debt. You need to borrow money. It takes money to make money. You are not going to succeed with your little paycheck. Your payroll paycheck is not going to help you start that multi-million-dollar business. No, the multi-million-dollar business needs a loan. You need big money that you don't have. So I'm going to borrow 1 million and I start a business trying to make 2 million. So remember, you have to have debt, okay? On this category, it covers student loans. Some of you have gone to college and you owe over $100,000. I was talking to a friend yesterday and I was telling him to help remind the kids. I was telling him I'm doing it, talking to my children about money, but my children don't have student debt yet. And I said to him that, it's good to let the child know that they need to pay this debt. This debt is not forgiven. And it's good for them to pay this debt before they start having a family. It's good for them to pay this debt before they start having life commitments. The student loan debt, if you have your parents, need to be taken care of while with your parents. Now, parents who have children in America, I'm thinking Kenya is the same. Plan to pay for your children's college. Stop wasting money in so many things. You owe your children an education. You owe your children a bachelor's degree. That price tag for a bachelor's degree should be on you. And I'm not saying it should be on you for you to start signing student loans. No, I'm saying it in the sense that before you have children, plan how many children you're going to have. Once you have those children, have a plan how you're going to educate your children. Don't just have children. Take all your money, for those of us who are immigrants, buy plots and buy this. And when your children get to the age of going to college, you have no money for them to go to college. That is so wrong. You owe your children a bachelor's degree. Now, if you're in a local state, like for us, we're in America, your children can go to a community college. And for you to make your children work hard for something, pay for them for 2 years, let them pay for 2 years. Because if your children, even if your children did an associate degree and they went into a good field and they did internship, they should be able to earn money to pay for the next 2 years. So if you're financially unstable, at least give them that deal of I'll pay for 2 and you pay for 2, because with an associate degree in America, you're able to save up money. Remember, you're feeding your children. Remember, your children are living in your house for free. So if they've been living with you for 2 years and you're giving them shelter and everything, they should be able to save a little money for their next 2 years that are coming. And if they are local, they go to a local community university, they should afford a class or 2. So let them put themselves through the 2 years. But parents, you owe your children an education. Stop doing so many things and not being able to take your children to college. You live in an expensive car. You're driving an expensive car. You're sending money home. You're doing all these things. And when your children are ready to go to college, you have nothing for them. That is very wrong. So let's go back to debt payment, okay? So I stopped to talk about that because one of the number one debt you're going to have if you go to college is the student loans. You have credit cards. Teach your children how to manage credit cards. Credit cards, the owners of credit cards, their money is working for them. You go see something for sale that is $10, you buy it for $10 on your credit card, you end up paying $20 or $30 for the same item that if you had cash, you could have just paid $10. When you owe on a credit card, when you swipe your credit card and you owe, look at how much interest you're paying every month. That is money you're giving to someone every month. Teach your children and teach yourself, when you swipe a credit card, pay it off at the end of the month. Okay? And they're also saying some personal loans. Some of us take personal loans to do little things here and there. Once you take a personal loan, if it's zero down, whatever, you could take a personal loan to buy chairs, to buy, to go on vacation. I don't know what you want to do with that loan. But if it's at 2%, you're giving that person money. If it's 10%, you're giving that person money. Whatever percent the loan is, you're giving that person that money. So if you're taking a personal loan, look at the interest before you start paying every month. Sometimes it's not even benefiting you. A good debt is debt that adds value. Good debt is debt that you're borrowing to make interest. You're making more interest than they're making more interest on you. Remember that. When you borrow money, if I'm borrowing $100 and I'm paying an interest of 2% and I'm making interest of 50%, that is good debt. Okay? So make your mortgage payment. Before you take a mortgage, make sure you are able to afford the mortgage, because the mortgage is not just the mortgage, the building. The mortgage means electric bill, water bill, in case anything breaks in that house. Before you borrow that money to buy a house, put all those things into consideration. And the regular monthly payments that, bills that you have your cell phone, you have your sewage. Depending on where you live, you have all these little bills. Write them, okay? Don't forget your health insurance. Always have health insurance. No matter what you're going through, no matter how much you're struggling financially, even in Kenya and in America, buy that health insurance policy. Because health insurance will put you in poverty. Once you go into the hospital and they bill you, you're not going to get away with that bill. That bill stays with you forever and ever. It's a hospital bill. It's there. Always prioritize your health insurance. With that said, that's all the time I had. I hope I've inspired you. I hope you listened and learned one thing. And I hope you are able to make good financial choices, so that way you can fly first class. And we are going to say this every day. Unless you've flown first class, don't say flying first class means nothing. We are all going to the same destination. Unless you get there and say, no, I want to bounce back to economy, that's different. Don't say money means nothing. We are all going to die. Have that money, experience that life, enjoy the journey, and then come and tell us money means nothing. That's why we are here to talk, to encourage one another to know that money is everything. That's why we go to work. Do not think money is nothing. Money is a currency. It's water. It flows. It's giving you services. So today, let me highlight this real quick. You need to budget. When you're budgeting your money, think of housing, 35%, transport, 15%, other living expenses, 25%, savings, 10%, debt payment and all other bills, loans and all that, 15%. Always remember to do that. My goal is to help you to make your journey a little more comfortable than everybody else. So I hope you listened and you learned something, so that way you can live a life with purpose. And that's why I come here freely to just share what I'm doing, from my personal journal to your Facebook page. Listen and learn. At least learn one or two things. You don't want to learn too much. Take one thing and run with it. All the time, just take one thing and make use of that thing. Thank you for watching. Please share this video. I see a lot of you watching, but you don't share this video. Share this video so we can all help one another. Your health is your wealth. Sharing is caring.